Hi, my name is Mr. Circumore, and it is my great pleasure to be introducing you to the ECU UniPrep Schools program here at Kareen Senior High School. So let's get into it. Firstly, what is it? Well, this is a university preparation pathway that is delivered at school. So this is a course that's actually designed to teach you how to be a university student. It's really similar to the kind of university preparation program you might do post-school. Typically those take 6 months and they're offered by most universities. The advantage of this one is you're able to do it during school time, which means by the end of year 12, you have a university entrance pathway that's been delivered. You get some C grades for it and you can build from there. So what does it involve? Firstly, you'll be doing 4 university level courses. So one in learning skills, one in academic writing, one in essential maths for university, and one for humanities. You'll have delivery from a teacher here at school. So you're not going off site or anything like that. It is delivered on one line at school by a teaching staff member. You access the same learning management systems as they do at Edith Cowan University. So you'll have full access to the Canvas suite. That's where you access things like your online lectures, tutorial materials, readings, all that sort of stuff. It's also where you submit assignments and that kind of thing, which means that you're starting to understand university life as it happens, and you have a little bit of an advantage over other students who have to learn that system once they arrive at university. You also learn really practical skills for university, like how to organize your learning, how to write a university level academic submission, how to research, how to reference, how to communicate with lecturers, all that sort of work. So that again, when you transition to university, those aren't things that are getting in your way. As I mentioned, it is a pathway to university studies. So at the conclusion of the course, if you pass everything, you'll have an ATAR of 70 for ECU entrance. But if you do really well, you can get an ECU entrance score of up to 85. So what is in it for you if you take this course? Well, firstly, it's about transferable skills. These are the skills that sometimes get called enterprise skills or soft skills, and the things that make us sort of genuinely successful throughout our lives. What I like about the UniPrep Schools course is it directly teaches those skills. So you can build on those as you go throughout the entire course. It scaffolds you quite a lot, which means it's building up over time. And that means those are skills that then you have to be able to access as you move into the other parts of your life, like university study. As we mentioned, it does give you an indicative ATAR of 70 if you pass everything. It does give you 4 units of endorsed programs as well. So what that looks like is that's 2 year 11 C grades and 2 year 12 C grades. So that's twice as much as you would normally get for, say, an ATAR maths applications or something like that. Generally, you'd get 2 units from 1 year of study in that. In this one, you're getting 2 year 11 units and 2 year 12 units. So if perhaps you've had an interrupted year 11 or haven't done quite as well as you would have liked in year 11 study, this is a good way to make up some of those C grades along the way as well. You do get English competency when you pass the academic writing unit. So that English competency counts for other universities as well, but also counts for your ECU entrance. And it does also give you potential entrance to other universities. So if you do really well in the course, you could get an indicative ATAR of up to 85 for ECU entry, but the other universities will accept it for their ATAR 70 entry-level courses, 75 in the case of UWA. Now, we can't guarantee that. That's not, universities make changes to their entrance pathways all the time, but as of the time of this presentation, the other universities have accepted this as a pathway. So how much time will it take? Firstly, if you were in year 11 taking this course, it'd be a 2-year commitment. What we've been able to secure though for our year 12 students is a 1-year commitment. So look, this is going to be an intense course over 1 year, but you can do it. It will require work outside of school. So a way to think about UniPrep is you need to think about it as kind of like a combination of 2 ATAR subjects. It's going to be reasonably hard work, and the work that you do is quite high level. And when you do it in the 1-year delivery module, it snaps along pretty quickly. You can't expect really to be working on your assignments in class. So what you'll find is that there'll be times where it's just like your pre-readings and things like that that you need to knock off. Maybe that's 2 to 3 hours a week. But when it comes time to handing in an assessment, you might have a heavy research load, you might have heavy reading load of that research, and you might have a heavy writing load. So in those times, it will be a lot more intense. I would be expecting at an average to be looking at 6 hours a week outside of school time for this course, but expect that to be ramped up when you start to do other, assignments and things like that during those more intense periods. Okay, so here's the course structure. This is how it works. First unit that you will do is learning skills. This is learning about how you learn and also teaching essential skills for university life. So things like getting organized, asking for help, accepting feedback, adopting a growth mindset, how to beat procrastination. We look at communication and group work in this section. We look at presentation skills, but also some really practical skills in terms of how to survive university, how to build connections, how to email lecturers, all that sort of work. The second unit is in academic writing. I like this unit because it really scaffolds you, it builds you up over time to be able to write a university level academic submission. So things like researching, how to read an academic text, how to structure an argument, how to paraphrase, how to avoid plagiarism, and how to reference are all part of this course. There is an exam as part of this course as well. The third unit that you do is humanities. So in humanities, you take a little taster of a whole range of different humanities courses, things like philosophy and ethics, languages, history, religion, politics, Aboriginal perspectives, film and art. And there's a long list of research topics to choose from to write a final essay about. Now that final essay is probably the most difficult assessment in all of UniPrep, but you are using your transferable skills from the academic writing unit to achieve it. It's a lot more independent though. So I look at this as kind of a transitional unit. It focuses on your critical thinking skills, your research skills, and your ability to independently conduct research and complete a university level submission. So it's challenging, but you do have the skills there to sort of support you. And the final one is essential mathematics. Now, this is not overly complex mathematics. If you've done year 10 mathematics successfully, then you've probably knocked off a lot of these topics. But things like order of operations, measurement, area and volume, probability, algebra, linear equations, and also some sort of financial things like interest and compound interest and things like that. If you've struggled in maths in the past, you might have to work reasonably hard in this unit. But if maths is something that comes reasonably easy to you, this is a great opportunity to build up your course average and get possibly a higher ATAR score for entrance into ECU as a result. So who should choose this course? Firstly, if you're looking for an alternative to an ATAR pathway, maybe you've been on that ship for a year and you're not enjoying what it entails, this could be a really good alternative for you. If you want a more practical approach to understanding university, then this is also a really good pathway for you because, as I mentioned earlier, it really teaches you all about university and how it operates and what to do. I like that it's got a lot of formative assessment, which means that you have the opportunity to hand things in, get feedback, and then get them back. So I think in terms of that sort of work, this pathway is really useful in terms of university preparation. If you haven't met the prerequisites for courses, or alternatively, if you have been in those courses but underachieving, for example, maybe you're heading towards waste risk, or maybe your results so far have indicated that you're not likely to get an ATAR score of 70 that will get you into universities, then this could be a really good alternative pathway option. If you're getting a score that's under the score that you might need to get into a particular course at ECU, this could also be an option around that. So something like nursing, an ATAR of 70 gets you a ticket to play there, but you probably need a score more like 76, 77 to get into a nursing course in Western Australia at the moment. So in that regard, if you were to transfer into UniPrep and do really well there, that could potentially give you the score that you need to get into your chosen course. Sometimes things have popped up for us in year 11 and 12 as well. So things like a mental health challenge or maybe a physical health challenge that didn't present to us when we were in year 10. Or maybe we knew it was there, we thought we could get through it, we attempted our ATAR pathway in year 11 and we've now realised, well, actually this isn't something I can manage alongside the rest of my health. If that's the kind of student that you are, then this is a great pathway. Number one, it's got far less exams. There's an exam for the mathematics unit and there's an exam for the academic writing unit, but those are the only two. So that makes a big difference in terms of stress levels. And then there's also a lot more assignment-based assessments where you have the opportunities for feedback. So it's easier in a UniPrep pathway to manage those mental and physical health challenges than is perhaps in an ATAR pathway. Remember that UniPrep is not something that you can choose in combination with an ATAR pathway. There's a couple of reasons for that, but the most important one is workload. As I mentioned, UniPrep can be intense. And the history that I've had delivering this course elsewhere has been that students who are attempting ATAR alongside UniPrep tend to really struggle with the workload that they're presented with. So if this is an option that you're looking at is an alternative entry pathway, it means that you're stepping off the ATAR train and onto the UniPrep train. But for a lot of students, that's a really appropriate decision to make. It's important to recognise that UniPrep is still not an easy pathway. It gets you into university because it's challenging and because it's teaching you those skills. So it's not necessarily an easier pathway than ATAR, but it is a different pathway. It's a pathway that you're likely to get more feedback in, more room to sort of play and experiment, and it's got less bearing on exam performance. So if that's something that you've struggled with over the last year or so in an ATAR pathway, then this is a really good option in terms of looking at something a little bit different that's still going to meet those final goals for you in terms of university entrance. If you are interested, you can have a chat to somebody like me about that. Miss Harville or Miss Kay would be the other two options around that. But it is a really fantastic course. I think we're very lucky to have it here at Korean Senior High School. We're very excited about working with ECU around it. And we certainly hope that if this is a course that works for you, that you take full advantage of the opportunity that's being presented. If you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to ask. And we hope that you have a great time in terms of choosing your new pathway.